Nutella, what are you doing? You can't go over there. Silly girl. What are you trying to do? Yeah, go back over there. Oh, you want me to touch you more? Scratch, 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 scratch. Not on the computer, okay? I'm doing my work. Currently outside. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've been feeling a little bit insecure, but I think I just need to take a shower and I'll feel better. But I just don't feel good. I need to touch on my hair. Anyways, we're not gonna get into that. Right now, I'm just doing some schoolwork. I am doing biology, nutrition and health, and honestly, I didn't think that I would like it as much as I do. I'm gonna find where to put this. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do, but I really do like it. It is a lot of information, but I also think that I'm intentionally putting more information in my brain than I should. But I just like to know a little bit about everything, especially if it has to do with your body. Like, why wouldn't I want to know that, you know? But right now I'm writing about minerals and the functions of it, the daily intakes, the food sources, the toxicity, and the deficiency. And right now we're on magnesium. There's about, let me see, I think there's like 7 important minerals that we're supposed to have in our body, and then I think 9 also important but not necessarily needed. Well, no, they are needed, but it's just there's the major minerals and the minor. Is it minor minerals, or what were they called? It started with a T. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on doing this. I hopefully get it done, cause this is kind of late, but I had a lot going on. So, all right, I'll keep y'all tuned in. Hi, hello. I look a little crazy. Again, we're not going to even get into that. But from going off of the last video that I was recording, so I'm doing my classwork for nutrition and health biology. I've been really loving learning about everything that's in the body. I know we learned a bit about this in high school, but I'm going to be honest with y'all guys. In high school, all I cared about was dumb boys, my little clique, and just like living life and being rebellious. Like, I was a troubled kid, so I feel like kids who are troubled don't really care too much about school rather than just living in the moment. That was me. I kind of wish I was the student who actually, really cared about my studies and whatnot, but I kind of didn't. I mean, like, for example, like, I remember my high school boyfriend at the time, I really wanted to take like a car mechanic class, but at the time when I discussed it with him, and mind you, I'm in high school, I shouldn't really be caring what my partner thought back then, but I cared about his opinion, and he was like, no, you shouldn't join the class because you'll be around a bunch of guys that will hit on you. And ironically, tell me why this man took that class. And I'm not saying he did anything with anybody that I know of, whatever, but like, bro, like, social standards, come on. But I was young and I was dumb and I didn't know any better, and I wanted to be loved, and I would find love in very unhealthy ways. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. So leaning back to, so now I'm just really passionate and focusing on like college and like all that it brings, and just really taking advantage of the free education. Not necessarily free because I have to use FAFSA, but I am fortunate enough to be one of those people who gets to use it, and I just don't want to waste it, type of thing. So I'm really focusing in on my degree. My degree is associate. Oh my god, I can't word stuff. Oh my god, I'm gonna have a freaking aneurysm. What the heck? Let me see. I pulled it up earlier because I was just like looking into it. That's why I pulled out my phone, because I was like, oh my god, I want to talk about this. Associate of Arts. My degree is an Associate of Arts, and my major is in psychology. So Oh, okay, I actually forgot where I was going with that because I got so distracted I couldn't pronounce associates. So basically, just learning about what you eat and how it affects your body mentally, physically is super interesting because as somebody that is majoring in psychology, people who are also majors in psychology know that anything that we eat, it also will show in the way that we are over time. So I don't know, I just think it's really fascinating to see how each mineral, each vitamin, protein, fats, and all that can really, I'm trying to find the word. Me when I'm trying to find big words to use. How, I'm just going to simplify it. Just again, like how it affects your body. The reason I'm saying that, besides like my infatuation about it, is that because I'm in psychology, the type of job or long-term goal or dream is to be a spiritual psychologist. And a lot of the time when I tell people that, they're like, what is that? Like, that's so, or maybe they do know it, very rare. But basically it's still the like stepping stones of psychology, of the psyche, but it's also involving a spiritual practice that is the holistic route and very non-traditional. And I like that because I also feel like, not that the other psychiatrists, what they do, like it does help, but also to a certain extent of people who just have all these other mental disorders, even if it's biologically. I'm not saying obviously, like, you know, at the end of the day what you eat also can help contribute that, but anyways, what I'm getting to is by being a spiritual psychologist, I want to help other forms of ways of being there for them, because I feel like that would have helped me a lot growing up. And I feel like it just really contributes to our society in a way of just being whole within ourselves and understanding like why we are the way we are, and like just repeating like mantras of like, we're, well, not this specific mantra, but just kind of being like, okay, like I'm not crazy because I choose to be crazy. I'm crazy because of the outcomes of my environment, the way I was impacted biologically. And I don't know, I feel like when I got to understand more about my like mental illnesses and like my contributing factors of why I am the way I am, it just makes me feel more grounded and more like, okay, like that makes a lot of sense. Anyways, so I'm really excited about learning about biology specifically because I'm learning about the vitamins, minerals, all that, but I'm also learning about compounds and how certain things like affect our body in a way when it comes to like atoms and cells and neurons and all that. I'm saying this because as a spiritual psychologist, you know, once I get there, I'm slowly integrating herbalism in that way, and also how like natural plants can coexist in our psyche and our mental abilities to really help ground us and just like chill the fuck out. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you get what I'm like spilling out, but if you do, like, I fuck with you. If you don't, that's okay. I'm also kind of like learning as I go, because honestly, like, I've been on a spiritual journey for about, let's see, almost between 5 to 6 years, because I think once I started kind of becoming independent and like really learning about myself and who I am, and like how I show up in relationships and friendships, and just like all the like hardships that I've gone through in life has kind of coexisted with other things that prevented me from like genuinely being happy, and like not understanding why things wouldn't work out in a certain way. And I just had a lot of internalized trauma that just really manifested it, and you know, but like going everywhere. But I just really feel like as soon as like I started to understand the non-traditional ways of healing, it really did push me into becoming the best version of myself. Kind of like when somebody is like a drug addict or alcoholic and they find like God and Jesus, and like they become a better person. Even though I don't necessarily agree with everything or follow that traditional route of like Christianity, I'm sorry y'all, or Catholicism. I don't necessarily agree with certain things that they practice, but at the same time I do. And it's more so kind of like the OG, you know, Bible manuscript of like when it was more like peace and love, like we don't hate thy neighbor, we don't judge them. Not, you know, the New Testament where it's like we kind of hate gay people and, you know, you should die. So that's the part I don't agree with, but the other stuff I do. So because like I do have friends who, you know, believe in God, and I'm not going to judge them, because if your God brings you happiness and peace and like it makes you a better person, fuck yes. So I'm all for like religion, like Hinduism, Buddhism, 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 oh my god, I'm sorry, non-traditional, like you know, non-Western, you know, I'm kind of getting everywhere, but if that makes sense, yeah. So that was just a really quick spew that I wanted to rant. I'm gonna let y'all go now because I'm low-key procrastinating and getting off topic, and I'm not even high, so it's just the ADHD. So I'm just gonna, you know, get back to this because right now I'm doing zinc, and after that I'm gonna eat and take a little break, because then I have other 7 different type of, I think it was called track minerals. That's what I was trying to tell y'all earlier, because there's major minerals and then there's trace minerals. There's major minerals and trace minerals. Those are like the ones that are like not as important, but they're still really important to your body. So right now I'm on zinc, and I have about 7 others to do after that, but I already did 7 before this, so I'm gonna take a break. But okay, I'm gonna go. So I'm just gonna keep ranting. Okay, thank y'all for listening to me. I love y'all. Bye.